Dude. Okay, so my name is Kate and I upload every day at 11 a.m. And I'm a little befuddled because my ex that I haven't talked to in like 37 million years just called me. And he was like, yo, because I have this in the description below. I have my podcast, 6 Feet Above, and a little variety show I do with my roommate, Harper Rose Drummond. And we post sketches there. And one of the sketches was based off him. And he was like, yo, is this about me? I haven't talked to this man in like 3 years. Yeah, it is. Anyways, let's get down to what really matters. And that is, I fear that I went on a date with a man that has a tall woman fetish. I don't really know what that's called. If there's a word for it, I think just tall woman fetish. I don't know. But listen, I'm gonna like tell you what happened and you tell me. I can't tell if I'm just being dramatic, but first of all, we match on a dating app. And the first thing he says to me is, love your height. Love in all caps. And I was like, okay, a man with taste. But first thing to say to me, little interesting, but I'll shake it off. Literally me shaking it off. Anyway, that made no sense. So then, the day of the date comes and we're texting and we're talking about like where we're gonna go. And I was like ootin' a boot. I was in New York at the time and I was ootin' a boot. This was like a while ago, by the way. I'm just like, I was thinking about it and I was like, wait, was this a tall woman fetish situation? But anyways, so basically oh my God. There's literally always something in my teeth. So basically, we're texting before the date and we're talking about where we want to go. And like I said before, I was ootin' a boot that day, so I was in my sneakers. And he was like, are you gonna wear heels tonight? And I was just like, no, I'm out right now. I'm in sneakers and we're in New York, so I'm not gonna be walking around like up and down the subway stairs in stilettos. Like, are you out of your mind? I was like, no, I'm wearing sneakers. And then he was like, okay, ... And I was like, did I like offend you? He was like 10 years older than me, so I thought that was just like the way he texted. Anyways, then he's like, I can push back the reservation if you want to wear heels and like if you want to like go home and get your heels. And I was like, dude, no, like I have shit to do. Like, what the hell? Anyways, that was like a little interesting. But I shook it off. Gave him the benefit of the doubt. Never do that. Anyways, I show up to the date and I'm just like, hey, and he was like, wow, you really are tall. I was like, wasn't lying. Why would I lie at this point? Anyways, things are getting weird. Who's horny? Not me. But anyways, we are like sitting down at the date and we're just like talking and he's like, wait, so like, he's asking me like how long I've been tall. Like have I been tall my whole life? Did I get a growth spurt? And I thought we were just like, you know, bonding over childhood trauma, like being 6 feet in 6th grade is like not ideal. And I was like, yeah, I was this tall in like 6th grade. He was like, wow, it's crazy. And I was like, yeah. And he just like kept bringing it back to my height. And then this was another thing that had me kind of befuddled and bemurfed. He was just like, we were talking about working out because I love working out. And he was like, oh, what kind of workouts do you do? And I was like, oh, I do like deadlifts. And he was like, wait, can you explain to me what you do for the deadlift? Like, do you go all the way down or do you just go to your knees? And like, as a tall person, that must be hard. It must like take a while for you to go all the way down and come back. Yo, now I'm saying it out loud. I'm like, is this a fetish or was he just weird? I think he was obsessed with like tall, like muscle mommies. You know what I mean? He liked a dominant woman, I assume. Which I can bring to the table, but not if you're a weirdo. I feel like I am naturally just a little aggressive in my ways. Not like aggressive like that, but just like, hey! That was a horrible way to explain who I am as a person. So just pretend I never said that. So I don't know. And he just like kept talking about, and then the one thing he did, he was just like, he like looked at me, I was sitting down. He was like, wow, those long legs and those big thighs. I'm saying it out loud. I'm like, why didn't I leave? Because I just remember being like, but the food was so good, dude. We were eating tapas and I remember he was like, I'm a pig. So like, please like eat as much as you want. And I was like, yeah, I was planning on it. Like, Bold of you to assume I was gonna have a measly morsel. Like, you out of your damn mind. Anyways. I can't say that was that good of a time. I cannot say that was that good of a time. I don't know if it was a tall woman fetish, or I don't know if he was just like weird. There's a difference when a man like appreciates a tall woman and when it's totally fetishizing a tall woman. And sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. I'm gonna be real with you. Things get weird fast. Things get weird fast. But I digress. I'm talking to this guy right now. I just matched with him on a dating app, and the first thing he said was like, love how tall you are. But he is from Greece. He's not from here. I don't know if that helps his case, but I don't know. He's cute, but yo, can I be so honest with you guys? And I plan on being honest with you regardless. Like, I have just been like I used to like go on a lot of dates, like, and it was cool, but you know, at some point you're just like, okay, this isn't that fun anymore. And like, I can only make small talk for so long. Cause like, I also don't drink. So I gotta raw dog that shit. And sometimes it's fucking brutal, but like, and between me and you, don't tell anyone. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm kind of scared of everyone. I'm scared of like ever being intimate with literally anyone because I feel like nobody gets tested or like they lie about being tested. And I don't know. It's like so scary. I'm like, why don't I just like cut out the middleman and just never date, which could eventually lead to intercourse. Which I know isn't healthy, but yo, I'm like scared. It just feels like nobody's using protection. Nobody cares. They're just out here truly raw dogging life. And I'm just like, I'm scared. I'm fearful. I'll be real with you. Like, and I feel like, I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people share that fear, but it just like scares me. And I see all these like TikToks of like women being like, how I found out my husband of like 10 years was cheating on me. He gave me this like incurable disease. And I'm like, like Jiminy Crickets. Like, ugh. Leave me out of that. So like this guy that I matched with that I just told you about that's from Greece, like I'm just like, I should honestly just unmatch you. It's not worth the fear. But I don't want to live in fear. But at the same time, I'm living in fear. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Everything's scary. Everyone's scary. I'm going to stick to my routine of not dating. But I like want to. You know what I'm saying? Am I making any type of sense? Does anyone relate? Like, God, everything's so scary. Anyways, so my friends plus one at a red carpet event tonight. It's like a movie screening. Could I be more fancy? That's crazy. I love being a plus one. It's honestly the best thing ever. So yeah, we're probably gonna vlog that together. That's on Parallel Play, and check out Parallel Play. Check out 6 Feet Above in the description below. Love ya.